guys!
Hey guys!
We wanted to take a moment before our next video started to first talk about a little bit about...
It's like...
Thanks, Jade.
And Kat.
And Kat.
Okay.
Anyways, we wanted to take a minute here to talk about our Patreon. We got it set up. It's ready to go. And we want to let you guys know that if you wanted to support our journey throughout this whole ordeal, because we've had lots of people who have asked us, how can they help? How
and
can
beyond,
they help?
and beyond.
Yes, and so this is a way that you can help if you wanted to. I will post a link in the description of the video below. And really, there are 3 levels of donation, but you of course, we just love that you're watching our video.
Right.
And so that's just an option in case you guys decide you wanted to support us through this bone marrow journey and to our travels beyond.
Right.
You know, because once we're on the road, who knows? This may be a way to support the gas tank as we travel.
Because all the rest of our money's going to go to her college fund.
Right. And so now
we don't mind.
Oh, well, of course not.
But that's we got 2 years. So
yes.
give, or pray.
Now there is another reason to celebrate today because right around the corner is her birthday. Woohoo! It's on Friday, and so she got her first birthday present today.
I did.
From someone very dear, close to the family.
My daughter, Molly.
And so let's show it off, shall we?
Okay.
Woohoo! Look at that. It's gorgeous.
So nice. This is the first HBCU shirts I've ever owned, and I am so excited. Like Molly, you nailed it.
It's truly awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now,
we'll wear that with pride.
Now, another thing that we got today from my friend Liz, she may or may not have been aware that it was Tony's birthday coming up, but this was totally great timing for her to donate for the bed stay in the hospital.
This was a bone marrow donation that I just simply was on Facebook and said, oh yeah, well, you know, it's time to do it again. And she piped up and said, what do you need? And so we had Miss Bearden came through with the drinks that Jade may need to help her build her strength, and a book and makeup tools, which was great. And then she said, well, what else do you need? And I said, well, caregivers kept saying, you need something to sleep on, the memory foam to sleep on in the hospital, because the chairs that the caregivers have to sleep on, and they're the let out chairs, are super uncomfortable. And once you're there. Like, you can't go back out. And I just happened to mention it to her, and she hit me up and said, I'll buy it for you. And so 4 days later, we've got the memory foam mattress pad. I mean, it's just, what a blessing. Like, you know, it's crazy. But
really
we love it.
We're forever grateful for anything that you guys donate to our journey.
Right.
We're just eternally grateful because...
Oh, and my niece Latavia came and she gave us 2 understorage rolling bins for the bed under the school bus, so we could store our canned goods there. And my sister Donna came back through and she gave us lots of health supplies that we would need while we're in the hospital, things that you don't even think of. But because I belong to a parent group, they say, okay, make sure you take this, and make sure you take this, and make sure you take this. And then there'll be other things that we'll be purchasing periodically that we learned from this group. So it's just been a real blessing to us, and we can't even we just can't even thank people enough. There have been countless other people have donated wood for the floor of the bus, people that raise money, like they raise money to get this bus fixed. It was amazing, just the outpouring, and the mechanics that they'd never had people that reached out to us at that time. And so we've just been so blessed that every step of the way, people are just out of the kindness of their heart. Just, just those little things, or great big ginormous things.
Right.
So. Now,
before we get to this next video here, you'll notice that there are subtitles because it was filmed inside the car.
Right.
And so, and this is one of the little more dated videos that she took on her way to St. Louis.
3 months ago. So still had hair then. I've shaven my hair. We shaved our hair because we were supposed to leave like 2.5 months ago. So I shaved all my hair off, just in solidarity or whatever, just to say it's only hair. And then it got canceled. And so now we're starting over, and my hair is going back, and so I'll probably end up shaving more of it off later.
All right.
But that's why, you'll see. So you can kind of date from, did she have a ponytail? Did she not have a ponytail?
Right.
If she has a ponytail, then this is pre this video. If she doesn't have a ponytail, then it's after the video. That's how you'll.
Yep. So we hope you enjoyed this video. This one is a very emotional video.
Right.
And it really is telling of things that have happened to get us to this point.
This is I think this one that you're doing is I really dive into Miss Leia and her life, and our life with her. So
we hope that this is something that you guys can latch onto and maybe use in the future for some inspiration.
Right. And if nothing else, go hug some of your people. That's what you're going to do. That's what this video is going to make you do. It's going to make you appreciate the people that you have around you.
Yep. So with all that, enjoy.
So I hope you can hear me. If not, this is going to be a incredibly boring video. But we are starting our trips again to St. Louis for our bone marrow transplant adventure. So my name is Tony Westbrooks, and my daughter is having a bone marrow transplant in the next few months. It has been suggested to me to start a video vlog of our journey. And I spoke to our daughter, and although she doesn't mind me starting a video from a caretaker's perspective, she doesn't really want to be featured in it, and I respect that. So on occasion, you'll see a picture of her, or she may grace us with an interview. But this really is from the perspective of the caretaker. So that being said, this is kind of, I wanted to make sure you understood that this is from the parent's perspective and not so much featuring the patient. Let me start a little bit, tell you a little bit about us.
just so she could experience swimming like other people, because you could regulate the water and you could regulate the room temperature. Jay's snoring. Can't we hear something other than my car engine. Anyway, we could regulate the room temperature. And what we forgot, though, in all this planning and all this money, that our house was a different temperature from the room. And so she was playing in the jacuzzi. It was perfect. She was about 6 or 7 at the time. And she had to go to the bathroom. We didn't think anything of it. She got out into the house. The house is like 72 degrees. Coming out of a room that's 98 degrees, 96 degrees. She went upstairs to the bathroom, and probably within 2 or 3 minutes she was screaming. And I mean the kind of scream that we automatically knew what it was. And she basically was frozen on the toilet in pain, like frozen, literally could not move. Because all of her cells her blood just turned into these sickles, into this hard, they're described as hard, like splinters when they change. And we ran upstairs and immediately knew it was horrible. This poor 6-year-old frozen, and we threw a blanket around her and ran outside, trying to, in our feeble attempt to do something, tried to warm her up. She's just screaming to the point that the neighbors came out of the house. One of our neighbors was a pharmacist, and she was like, go, 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 go to the hospital. Just go, and again, we're just like, okay, we threw her in the car. I zoomed her up to University Hospital, and this was horrible. And I believe at that time she ended up having a stroke. A couple of days later, it was just bad. It was horrible. We were in the hospital for 10 days because of that one mistake, that one oversight. After that, we put a porta potty in the sunroom, and she continued to play with her and her friends, continued to play until we sold that house. But we recognized that you can't leave the room. There was a routine. You had to go and you swim, and then you went outside if the temperature was balanced, and they would lay out and sun out. Her and her friends would sun out until they were completely dry, and then we'd send them home, and then we'd probably change in the sunroom, like put on sweats and jogging clothes or whatever, and then she could go in the house. Like you had to even have a routine to get back into the house because it kept it so cold back then. Well, fast forward, she's now about maybe 13, and she's getting full blood transfusions, and not the regular kind where they just drip blood into your arm, but the kind that they have ports put underneath their skin, and they take out a certain amount of blood completely out of your body, and then they put in a certain amount of blood back in to try to get your levels as close to a 10 as normal. You can look all that stuff up if you want, but anyway, that was a huge success. It made a world of difference. She became like this normal kid, and it was really interesting for both my children because they both have sickle cell. During the end of the month, however, her teachers would say it's time for a fill up because her cognitive abilities would go down because her blood was just garbage. And then we'd go back the next month and we'd take out the bad blood, put in the good blood, top her off. So we'd say, time to top you off. And then and she'd be fine. water was a little bit warmer. Like we could never go to a pool when they first opened. Like, no, not gonna happen. But like maybe in the dead of summer, and then we would ease her, transition her into the water. Then she would swim for about an hour or two, constantly drinking water while we're there. And then we would transition her back out, instantly warm her off, So, but at least that gave just a touch of normality to her life. And we didn't do that often. It had to be some really special event, like some kid's birthday party that she just had to go to. They had it at a pool or whatever. But we tried to do like inside pools, like heated pools. So we had to go to a hotel. We would look up the hotel. If it didn't have a heated indoor pool, nope, wasn't doing it. And even sometimes with that, they'd have a heated pool, but the pool itself wouldn't be regulated. Like the temperature in the room would be too cold, and we'd get all the way there and get excited and not have to tell her no because the air wasn't balanced enough. So it's just stuff like that. So now fast forward, I'm divorced, we move on. At around 16 years old, Leia started showing some real symptoms of distress. The transfusions didn't seem to be working as well for her. Her body was just, starting to fail. But we kept moving, went to school. She was really smart. That's a thing in our house. School is like everything. And she graduated from high school. Again, when she turned 18, she was her own woman, and that's what I had been, taught as a single soul parent. You have to raise them so they can take care of themselves. And so I said, okay, I'll take you to your appointments, but you've got to make your appointments. You've got to take your medicine. You're going to college, and you're going to college away from us. And luckily for my children, even after the divorce, they live like 7 blocks from their dad. So they got to see their dad every day. Like they would live with me, but then they'd go to their dad's house after school. He'd cook dinner or whatever. I'm not a cook. Poor kid has to live with me due to this bone marrow transplant. I have to learn to cook at the same time as she's recovering. So life is good. Life is different, but life is good. Anyway, so they got to see their dad like every day. It was actually, if you gotta say, going through a divorce is a horrible thing. It is. It's not fun. But as far as the kids were concerned, I played equitable. I didn't do that foolishness that other people do. Anyway, so it was important that they stay connected to their father. And Jade she still goes over there about once or twice a week. See her dad. But anyway, so but Leia's health started to really decline, and I got a new job, and it was one where the job, it takes a lot, and that's just the nature of the job. It's like it's nothing wrong with it. It's just the nature of the job, and she being in college, and couldn't help her with her health, and she ended up that didn't work very well for her. So she ended up just normal for sickle cell kids, and she ended up coming home, and she's still, I'm still pressing. You got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. You're an adult, and she just couldn't. She had a massive stroke around about 20, like a massive, and it did just some horrible damage. She had to learn to speak again and form her words, and she had learned to walk again, and decided to step back in. I said, okay, it's time for Mom to take over, get you back on track. And it just, she did make it. Sometime I'll have to find a video. I don't want to go into it right now because I'm driving, but some point I'll go through and find a video that I made talking about how she passed away, and I'm smiling now, because it was such a beautiful transition. And no parent ever wants to bury their 21-year-old. You just don't. But you have to lose a child to be able to be there and hold each other's hands and laugh and apologize for stupid stuff and forgive and get closure, and to actually be there when they transition. You can't ask for anything, you just can't. So, but one day I'll play that video for you. So, Leah had always had asked me to do the bone marrow transplant for her, and at the time, many years ago, when she was about 16, she asked 16, 17. I couldn't figure out a way to do it. I was primary breadwinner. I didn't feel like I had the support at that time to be able to do that, because it takes about a year of your life, and somebody has to work, and somebody has to keep the house going. And then I had another child, so that didn't seem to be a viable option at the time. That's one of my great regrets, is that I didn't put my foot down and make that happen. And by the time, like I said, when she was 20, that I said, I've got to do something. I lose this kid. And I did. We started looking into bone marrow transplants heavily at that time, because I figured out a way. I thought I'd figured out a way to be able to do that. They started looking into it, and they said she was too sick. You have to be well enough to handle the chemotherapy and all that stuff. And she was too sickly, so she wouldn't have survived it. So fast forward, now we're going to talk a little bit about Miss Jade. And so, like I said, Leah was always really, really sickly as far as pain crises are concerned, operations and stuff. And although Jade had lungs. So, and university was afraid that it would damage her lungs to the point that she wouldn't qualify anymore. And so we went to one city transplant hospital who were not as familiar with sickle cell patients, and they thought she could wait. University was not pleased with that decision at all, and prompted us to look to a different city. And so it took about a year for our insurance to approve another screening, because we just had one in a different city. And coupled with the fact that so the lungs were first, and then we were told that she wasn't severe enough for the bone marrow at that point. University disagreed, and then
on I-70 East, 13 miles.
and then we were told to go to another a major city, another one that specializes in bone marrow transplants for sickle cell patients, and in the process of doing that, that's when they discovered that it was also attacking her brain. So even though outwardly she looked like she was doing great, inwardly everything was. And then we were talking about a kid who has had strokes and is still super smart and in honors classes, but was really struggling. Our teacher called one day and said there's something really wrong with her. She knew all this material yesterday. She doesn't know any of it today. Like, we've lost an entire, months and months and months of math. And so that's when the university got really concerned, and that's what prompted the bone marrow stuff. So now we're 15, and we're getting ready to have the bone marrow transplant, and we've got to go through all these tests to see if we qualify. We've had to raise money to go take her to this trip, and we ended up going to the trip, and it was fabulous with my husband Josh. And he's so super supportive, and his family is amazing, and my family loves him, and he's so great. And Jade loves him. More importantly, Jade loves him, and Leah knew him, which makes a bonus, because he really is connected to the family even before we were married. So it's amazing. And when we started running through all these tests, and then they discovered Jade has a blood clot in her heart, which stops the bone marrow process, because we have to treat that first. And so then she goes through an experimental surgery for that, and it was successful, of course. And I had no fear about that. Like, we prayed about it and had no fear about this experimental heart surgery. So until we went back after the follow-up, the after, and I was talking to the doctor, and I said, we want some, because Jade was only the second one that had this at this hospital. And I said, all right, we are so happy that we kept your perfect percentage rate. We're so happy about it, just joking. And he said, well, we're going to have to work on getting that percentage rate back up. And I was just like, that's when it dawned on me that people die, like, with the surgery. She didn't. And they tell you that that's a possibility, but they tell you that's a possibility when you do anything, right? So you're like, yeah, okay. No, seriously, the other patient didn't make it, the one after Jade. So, that kind of was like, but we made it. And so we started back on, you do all these tests, MRIs, EKGs, all of that stuff, blood work, because you still have to qualify. And we get really close. We are a month out from starting this journey. And on the way out of the hospital, like, not even a month, I think we were like 2 weeks before we were supposed to come up to the city hospital on our school bus, and we will talk about our school bus. And yes, we're living on a school bus during transition of this from transitioning from home to the hospital and staying there, because you have to stay 15 minutes from the hospital, and we can't as a family really afford to pay a house note where we live and a city apartment. We can't afford that, and we don't qualify for any kind of cancer bone marrow lodging because it's not cancer related. So we already bought a school bus. We started converting it into an RV just for us to go a little far around in camping, and decided, well, okay, I think it's going to be an apartment. And so we took a bunch of stuff out, put a bunch of stuff in. Some beautiful people through Facebook. I posted, hey, we're fixing up the bus. Here's how much it's going to cost to make it mechanically sound. And actually, I didn't even say that. I just said, here's where we're fixing it if you want to donate. And they paid for $3,000 worth of mechanical work for this bus. It was amazing. And then, threw a bunch of money in to pay the hospital bills that we already had, accumulated. So anyway, it was beautiful. So that part is over. So we're back to just, house money at this point. But we were able to take care of quite a few bills. But at any rate, so we were a week from that, and they said, we're walking out of the hospital, and they called us and said, are you driving? We were like, not yet. They said, well, because Jade had a seizure on the table, which then, once again, that stopped the bone marrow process in its tracks. And so then we were delayed another 2 months because they had to put her on seizure medicine, and we had to come back up, and then they checked her for seizures again and said, oh, nope, she's just not having seizures. She's just a terrible sleeper. She really is a bad sleeper. And so that was, to me, people were like, what? But I was like, well, good, she's not having them. Okay, and it gave us an opportunity to work on the bus more and get it once you're ready, and for us to sleep in it and say, okay, this is what we need to change, this is what we need to do. And it allowed her to finish more school. And it allowed me to finish teaching or get farther into the semester, which was great. So now we are on the road, starting back over the journey with our testing. And so today we are meeting with the sickle cell transplant team, and we're also meeting with doing an EEG or EKG. So this is trip 1 of hopefully the journey. So I thought this would be a great way of just introducing you to our family and our legacy. This trip that we're taking in this crazy, wonderful life that we have. Leia, I know she's here with us. I know she's so proud of Jade, because this is a scary process for her, like really, really terrifying process for her. But she's a strong little girl at 16, and I'm not sure I was as strong at 16. But she is, and she's also just a kid, And so this video blog is pretty much going to look like this. I'm not going to have a lot of time to cut and paste and edit and all that fanciness. But I think it may be helpful to some people who are going to be caretakers of children or adults who are going